Thank you so much. This is wonderful. Sometimes when we have these long extensions of time where we don't see each other like this, it's really nice to see many of you again in person, right? It's really wonderful. And to be honest, when we do these Summer of Surprise events, one of the things that I'm looking forward to is just the opportunity to play again together. Because play is how we build trust. And for the past 15 months, we really haven't had that chance. So I'm really excited for that. I hope you are too. Now, about this passage, Romans 12 is a famous passage. It's one of the, I consider chapter 11 of Romans to be the high point of the book. And then it turns, and that's why chapter 12 starts with the therefore, and then leads into how we should live and be and act and everything else. But here's the plan. I would like to share with you why I think youth are amazing, Jesus, then this passage, and then I have a challenge for the whole church. Ooh, here we go. Youth are amazing because of this. You have imagination. One of my favorite things about teenagers is that they are not stuck in routines because they don't have routines yet. Literally, if you think about the 70s, all of that, in some sense, it was good disruption of the 1970s, was done by young people who were trying to imagine a different world. You teens, middle schoolers, high schoolers, you've got imagination about what the world could be, and that is one of your most important gifts. Some of us who are older, we sometimes fall into this idea of, oh, that won't work because we tried that 10 years ago, it didn't work, whatever. We all know old people, it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks, right? But you young folk, you almost constantly have new tricks. And that can be annoying in its own way, but you're great. That's one of the gifts that you have. Now, for people in your age, middle schoolers and high schoolers, your main question that you're trying to answer is, who am I? And one of the most wonderful things for a church to do is to help you answer that question. The second question comes after that is, what do I have to give to the world? And hopefully the church can help you do that too. Answer that question. What do you have to give to the world? Now, young folk, you often have this idea of, I not only can change the world, I have to change the world. And that can become a burden. I'll be honest. You can be a teenager and look at the evening news and get really cynical about the world, correct? Right? Negative. But let's at least break that myth. Because you teenagers, you don't have to change the world. You just have to help change your part of the world. That's a very different thing. So just hold that idea in mind. You don't have to change the world, but it is on you to change your part of the world. Now, let's talk about Jesus. Jesus didn't have a Messiah complex. Even though we called him the Messiah, he is like the only person, it seems, that didn't feel the need to go around and save everyone, heal absolutely everyone, hand a fish to every single person. When he made the loaves and fishes, he actually passed the basket to the apostles, right? And they passed it out to the crowd. When he ascended, he said, now it's your turn to do the ministry. And he hands over the gospel proclamation to the apostles, and they spread throughout the world. It's interesting. The person that we called the Messiah didn't have a Messiah complex. Now let's talk about Paul. Well, Paul takes that insight here in chapter 12. I feel like I'm standing like Superman. I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm going to keep doing it though. Paul in this passage says, listen, everybody's got a different gift. You don't have to have all the gifts. Just find your gift and use it. So you young folk, sometimes on the main line, I really ache for you because I feel like you're sometimes trying to be perfect at every single task you try to do. You try to have A+ grades in every single subject, be great at every single type of instrument, be the best athlete in every single sport you play. And honestly, I see the way it hurts you. And I wish you didn't feel that pressure. I don't know where that pressure comes from. So I want to help you by saying, you don't have to have a Messiah complex. You don't have to have a perfection complex. Just find what you're good at and lean into that. Because, here we go. Debbie already read this verse, but I think it's really fun. Okay. So raise your hand if this part applies to you. Okay. If your gift is prophesying, then prophesy. Anybody? Raise your hand. No one here has the gift of prophesy. Oh, Brent! Thank you. Well, also prophesy means to speak for the building and edification of the church. Brent is definitely that. He's a prophet. Okay, what's the next one? If serving. Is anybody here really good at serving? Yes, 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 yes. It's like popcorn. It's really fun right now. Okay. If it's to encourage, then give encouragement. Who's a really good encourager? Yes, do that. The world needs it. The church needs it. Okay. To teach. Who's really good at teaching? Steve raised his hand. Debbie did. Okay, the Wangers, absolutely want to. Oh, we're good. We're doing good. We're doing good. If it is to give, who can give lots of money? I'm kidding. Keep your hands down. You don't have to do that one. And teenagers, I know you have small bank accounts or piggy banks. Okay. But if you can lead, do it diligently. If you can show mercy, do it cheerfully. All of us have a gift to give. And so find it and lean into it and give it, especially here in this building. Now let's wrap it up. You don't have to be perfect, young people. You don't have to change the world, but you maybe are invited to change your part of the world for the better. All of us have gifts to give, people of every single age, but here's the last thought. It's always been one of my priorities and dreams that you young folk actually feel welcome in this room, but also feel welcome to be a part of the life of the church. So here's my challenge, and I'm not sure if we'll be able to do it quickly, but to everyone that's on a committee here at the church, I invite you to invite one high schooler to be a part of that committee. If their gift matches up with your committee, invite them to be a part of the life of the church. They have the imagination that could really help the committee that would overall help our church. You young folk belong. Paul says it in this passage. We belong to each other. So let's be the church to one another. Amen.